All right, first things first. Clean your hands, you filthy animals. I'm serious, nobody wants random germs messing with the Retatrutide. After you wash up, wipe down the area with some disinfecting wipes just to keep everything as sterile as possible. You can also wear gloves if you want, but personally, I lose all dexterity when I try to handle tiny needles with rubber fingers, and that's the last thing I need with a 30 gauge needle that could mistakenly go right through my finger. Next, gather up your supplies. You'll need a 5-gram bottle of Retatrutide and some bacteriostatic water. Pop the safety caps off of both and clean the rubber tops with an alcohol swab. The powder form of this peptide is pretty resilient, but once you add water, it gets a lot more delicate, so you'll want to be gentle from that point on and keep it refrigerated. I actually keep my bacteriostatic water in the fridge too, though I'm not 100% sure if that's necessary, it just feels right. You'll need a 1 milliliter syringe. I like the ones with the threaded tops that don't come attached with the needle. Then I like to buy 18 gauge needle for the drawing and mixing, plus 30 gauge needles for actually injecting. It's just my preference, but there's a solid reason behind it. Most peptide vials are under a strong vacuum, so if you use a large 18 gauge needle first, you'll release that pressure without blasting a jet of water through vacuum directly onto the powder and potentially ruining its structure. So here's how it goes. Attach the 18 gauge needle to your syringe and draw exactly 1 ml of bacteriostatic water. Then pierce the top of the Retatrutide vial slowly so that the vacuum equalizes and gently push the water in. If you don't let the vacuum purge, it'll pull the water in too forcefully and potentially damage the peptide. So after you've transferred the water, remove the 18 gauge needle carefully, and I like to keep that needle on to draw my actual dose later, which keeps my 30 gauge needle fresh for injection. Let the vial sit for about 20 minutes to fully dissolve. No shaking or aggressive swirling. This may also damage the peptide. Once the Retatrutide has fully dissolved, it's time to measure your dose. In my case, I do 10 units on a 1 ml syringe, which is 0.1 ml. That gives me 500 milligrams of Retatrutide from a 5-gram vial that's been reconstituted with 1 ml of water. If you're unsure of the math, the Peptide Calc app on the iPhone can be a lifesaver, but remember, I'm not a doctor, just a guy on the internet sharing my own process. Draw up your dose with the 18 gauge needle still on there. Then switch to the 30 gauge needle for the actual injection. I like a sharp, untouched needle going into my skin because it reduces any pinch or discomfort. Clean your injection spot, push the needle into your stomach fat, and gently press the plunger. When you're done, remove the needle carefully, cap it, and swab the area again. You probably won't see any blood if everything's gone smooth. I do my shots twice a week, Monday mornings and Thursday evenings, because even a relatively low dose can make me queasy. Your experience may vary, but common side effects can include nausea, reduced appetite, fewer bowel movements, headaches, dry mouth, or even a weird metallic taste. Now, the upside is it often quells that food noise, so I stick to eating just what I need to hit my protein goals without all of the mindless snacking. I've even found myself not caring about alcohol at all, which is surprising but a welcome bonus. Retatrutide isn't a magic bullet, but if it helps you curb bad habits and shed fat, it can be a powerful tool. Just be sure to store it in the fridge and use it up within about a month. That's why I like the 5-gram bottles, is that any bigger and I'd never finish it in time. I'm just sharing what works for me on my own fitness journey, and my name is Robert, and best of luck to you in your journey. I'll see you in the next video.